Hi everyone, myself Dr. Vagish. I'm a surgical gastroenterologist.
Hello, I am Dr. Vishwanath Reddy. I am a surgical gastroenterologist.
Today we are going to have a short and quick and crisp discussion on clinical aspect, that is how to approach a case of jaundice. Okay, we will take maximum of around 5 to 7 minutes to discuss it out. Actually, the skeleton of clinical discussion is mainly dependent on the symptomatologies. So, it is very much necessary to know each and every symptom in detail. With that background, today we will start with approach to a case of jaundice. So, first, when a patient with jaundice comes to us, what are the things we have to look for? Basically, 5 important things that comes to mind. What are they? You can see here, yellow colored eyes and high colored urine are mainly because of increased serum bilirubin, and patient may complain of excessive pruritus, that is itching, because of the accumulation of the bile acids and next and even bile salts. Patient may complain of clay colored stools. This is because absence of intrahepatic circulation and then absence of bile salts and bile acids. And patient may complain of pain abdomen as seen in the picture. Here the pain may be because of the obstructive pathology, that may be CBD stone or malignancy. And ultimately patient may also complain of weight loss, which is classically seen in most of the times malignant pathology. So, whenever we say case of jaundice, in hand it goes with other symptoms. These things should come to your mind, that whether high colored urine, high colored jaundice is there or not, pruritus history is there or not, clay colored stool, pain abdomen, weight loss. So, this constitutes 5-pronged clinical symptomatic approach.
So, how do we approach a patient with jaundice? As soon as a case is presented, given to you, a case of jaundice, so you should know whether it is medical jaundice or surgical jaundice. So, how do we differentiate? In medical jaundice, most of the times we will have constitutional symptoms like fever, myalgia, arthralgia, and weakness, generalized body aches. And whereas surgical jaundice, usually patient has, as Dr. Vagish has told, a patient will have pruritus and clay colored stools. Pain abdomen can be seen both in medical and surgical jaundice, whereas in medical jaundice it is right upper quadrant pain because of capsular stretching of the liver, and in surgical jaundice it may be because of pancreatic malignancy. CA head of pancreas can present with pain abdomen. Is same way even choledocholithiasis can also have pain abdomen. How do we differentiate between pain abdomen of CA head of pancreas and choledocholithiasis? Is patient of choledocholithiasis will have recurrent episodes of pain abdomen. Around 90% of patients will have pain abdomen, whereas pain of CA head of pancreas will be short in duration. It will not be recurrent. One episode of pain will be there. That may be 1 month or 2 months. It will not be beyond 2-3 months unless patient neglects the symptomatology, whereas it will not be recurrent episodes of pain abdomen. Same way, weight loss will be more in case of malignant surgical obstructive jaundice. Over to Dr. Vagish.
Okay. In CRISP, we came to know about the clinical approach with the symptomatology of the jaundice, what are the things we have to remember, and whole approach when a patient comes to you with a jaundice, what are the things to be considered. So, next important step is how do you proceed with the investigations. So, clinical acumen wise, on examination wise, we came to know that yes, this may be a case of jaundice, and now to arrive at a proper diagnosis, we need laboratory as well as some radiological help. So, what are the things we will do? First, considering the laboratory investigation. In blood investigations, first we will order for liver function test. What do we see in liver function test? First we will see for the bilirubin levels, direct and indirect bilirubin level along with the total bilirubin level. Increased bilirubin level will directly suggest of jaundice and clinical classical manifestation on the laboratory finding. Next comes OTPT, that is SGOT, SGPTs, what we call is as transaminases. Usually they are increased in viral hepatitis or medical conditions, and then we will see about the alkaline phosphatase, which is a classical enzyme which if it is increased, that shows it is an obstructive jaundice. 4 times increase is a classical diagnostic feature of obstructive jaundice. So, PT-INR and albumin will also show about the synthetic function of the liver, and they give a clue. Next, of course, we have to do a renal function test, whether associated for this one any disease is there or not. For it also helps to further negotiate with the investigations like CT of the abdomen. And of course, serology, that is hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis E, to rule out the medical etiologies of the jaundice should be considered. Then this is about the laboratory investigations. This will give a clue. Along with this, in this, TLC, that is total leukocyte count, is also very important investigation, which will show if the cholangitis is there, then obstructive pathology. So that shows that patient is also in a sepsis and cholangitis have already set in. Okay. Next, moving on to the imaging. Primarily, we will do a ultrasound abdomen. In the ultrasound abdomen, what do we look for? Whether the GB is distended or not, whether the bilateral IHBRD, we call it as intrahepatic biliary radicals, are dilated or what, whether there is a pneumobilia present or not, any distal obstructions are there or not. These are the things we will look into in ultrasound abdomen. Even though it may not give you the proper diagnostic about the periampullary or head of the pancreatic malignancies, it will give at least a clue. And then we will move on to the higher investigation like CT or MRI. Specifically, biliary tract imaging in MRI, it is called MRCP, that is magnetic resonance cholangiopancreatography, where you will be seeing throughout the biliary tract as well as the pancreatic duct. Here we may see some malignancies in the head of the pancreas, maybe periampullary region, distal CBD may be there, hilar cholangiocarcinomas, carcinoma gallbladder. Findings may differ. Ultimately, when a jaundice patient is presented, these investigation will give us a clue to differentiate between medical as well as surgical jaundice. If it is a surgical jaundice, imaging will give us the clue where is the culprit is. Over to Dr. Vishy.
Once we have the diagnosis of what the patient is suffering from, so treatment is based upon each and individualized. So suppose if patient has CBD stones, then we have two options. One is endoscopic retrograde cholangiography followed by stone removal and stent placement. So subsequently, patient has to undergo cholecystectomy, be it lap or open depending upon the feasibility. If suppose stone size is a large stone size, then it may not be retrievable through the endoscopic route. Then surgery is a modality which is left. And in such case, both cholecystectomy and CBD exploration can be done at the same setting, and patient may be relieved of the disease in one setting itself. And coming to malignancy, if patient is suffering from carcinoma gallbladder, then patient has to undergo extended cholecystectomy. What is extended cholecystectomy means? It means a removal of gallbladder, entire gallbladder, along with a wedge of liver, along with the lymph node dissections in the hepatoduodenal ligament. If suppose patient has carcinoma head of pancreas, then patient has to undergo pancreaticoduodenectomy or Whipple's procedure. And if patient has a periampullary carcinoma, what is the difference between a head of pancreas and periampullary carcinoma is, in periampullary carcinoma, any lesion within 2 cm radius of the ampulla is included in the periampullary carcinoma. Even periampullary carcinoma also requires pancreaticoduodenectomy, that is Whipple's surgery. If patient has hepatocellular carcinoma, he has to undergo hepatic resection, and if patient has cholangiocarcinoma, either it can be treated with plain excision of the biliary tree, or patient may require hepatic resection along with that. Prior to doing all these surgeries, in cases of malignancy, patient has to undergo staging laparoscopy. Staging laparoscopy is one where we put a scope inside the abdominal cavity and we will see for metastasis, surface metastasis over the liver or in the peritoneal cavity. If suppose patient had metastatic lesions, then further definitive surgery is not advised. Procedure has to be abandoned. Thank you.
Okay, so that's about the crisp discussion about the jaundice. This is how each and every symptomatology has to be approached, has to be dissected, has to be understood, and approach should be developed. So it will definitely help to come to a diagnosis and to build a clinical acumen. Thank you.